sort of violent. We were just discussing, and at certain times of the year, mostly like right around now, the waves get very rough in that area, and they're swirling, and if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to be tough, or if you're small, if you're young. So I just want to congratulate Nathaniel Ray for coming through an ordeal. That means you're going to have good luck in life. You know, that's called good luck. I want to say hello to your father, and came along for the, we invited them to the Oval Office and to the White House. After this, if you'd like, we're going to have them brought up to the Lincoln bedroom, where you see the room of Abraham Lincoln. That's pretty good, right? And also your sister. It's really nice. We have some of the people that Nathaniel and that work so much on the whole process with Nathaniel, and were with Ryder right from the beginning. And I guess you learned from these people. They taught you how to do what you do so well, Ryder, right?
Yes, sir. They trained me.
And Nathaniel's very happy about that, Ryder, I have to tell you. Shane Williams, the father of Ryder. Thank you very much, Shane. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I see you're in one of my favorite uniforms.
Yes, sir.
I'm a big fan of that.
Thank you.
You couldn't be happier, right?
I couldn't be more proud.
When you saw that on television.
Yes.
It was incredible, actually. Shannon Williams, that's the mom. So you did a good job. It's good genetics. When you look at him, you can see really good. Summit Ray, that's the father. Thanks again, Summit. Appreciate it. Layla Ray, sister of Nathaniel. Thank you, honey. Aaron Bonin, Santa Cruz lifeguard, who assisted Ryder, and he became quite famous also. That was a good assist. He helped you a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
He helped you a lot. Thank you very much. Great job. Fantastic. Alex Luscutoff, Chief of Law Enforcement and Emergency Service in Santa Cruz. Thank you. Great job you guys are doing.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Justin McHenry, Assistant Chief of Aquatics and Lifeguard Operations, Santa Cruz. Good job. Were you responsible for the training?
Yes, I help oversee and
That's
guide
good.
the training for our lifeguard program.
And for a lot of the lifeguards, right?
We train about 200 lifeguards a year,
Great. At that age, too.
starting at 16.
Starting at 16. That's a lot. I read that that's a lot to do for a 16-year-old. That's not easy.
It's a huge responsibility, and it requires a lot of
That he did it so well, right?
integrity and resilience. And I think this particular rescue that Ryder performed really exemplifies what we're looking for in a state park life.
And you couldn't let go for an instant. If you let go for 1 instant, it'd be very hard to find, right?
Oh, absolutely. In those conditions, losing a victim would be disastrous.
Yeah, really amazing. You have no idea the respect. Joel, where's Joel? State Park Superintendent, lifeguard, Santa Cruz. Joel, thank you very much. That's dinner hour, right? Good job, Joel. And Mike McAnamy, State Park Superintendent, Santa Cruz.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, we're honored to have all of you. And again, what you did was incredible, and everybody saw it. And you'd watch it over and over. I know when I first saw it, I said, roll that back. I want to see that again. Is that really happening? And both of you people have to be very proud. The whole group is proud. And your father is the happiest man in the world, you know that? Because I asked him a question. I said, so if that didn't happen, your life would be ruined. And you said, it would be a whole different life, right?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
No question. It's incredible what Ryder did. I'm just beyond grateful to him and Aaron and the rest of the team, and even the Good Samaritans that were there. I mean, it's just such a privilege to be sitting next to him today.
Yeah.
And be able to celebrate his birthday tomorrow.
And I'll bet you'll stay a little bit related to this group of people. Because you
Absolutely.
realize what a fantastic job they did.
We're a great
Probably, you know, it's interesting because they're saying that you have in that area so many different saves. You're saying that night you help somebody out. Maybe not to that extent, but you help somebody out. But maybe lifeguards don't get the credit they deserve. This really showed how important it is, and certain areas. So certain areas of the country, you could say, are just very susceptible to people getting in trouble, right? And was this one of the worst in on the state, on that entire coast? I mean, do you have other areas? Because that looks like a very dangerous place, the way
Yeah.
those waves, on a beautiful day, right?
The characteristics on that given day made it a little more difficult. You know, it was a warm day, so there's lots of folks on the beach recreating, and then combine it with that large surf and the strong currents that we had in the area made it treacherous. But California's coastline is very diverse, and we have very remote and rugged sections of coastline that our lifeguards work on every day.
Do you have areas where you don't have lifeguards that are very dangerous and people innocently go swimming and they don't have a chance, probably, right?
There certainly are unguarded areas within the state and around the nation, and people getting in without the knowledge or ability to recreate in those waters can be extremely dangerous.
And you have a lot of that. Is this one of the more dangerous areas, the swirl?
I would say it's during the summer months. It's one of our more dangerous summer beaches. Yes.
Yeah, it looked amazing, and it didn't stop. You know, the water came in and just keep coming. It was, and it looked like you were almost on shore, but you weren't really on shore.
It's deceptive.
It was a fantastic thing. Do you have any questions?
Mr. President, and congratulations on being honored here.
Let's keep the questions for them just for this, and then we can ask a couple later. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. So thank you for doing this.
Good, sure.
What do you hope young Americans in our country take away from this incredible young man's
That's a
story?
great question. I mean, look, they're going to look up to Ryder. They're going to look up to Nathaniel, the way Nathaniel handled it. He was cool considering the problems I was watching. You were very cool, and they're going to gain respect. I think, very importantly, they're going to gain respect for what these people do, having to do with lifeguards and having to do with safety. This was an unbelievable experience. Anybody watching, like, it's not my world, but I respect that world. I always had, but never maybe so much as I do now. So I thought you bring, to your profession, to what you do and what you do so well, you brought tremendous grace and experience, really tremendous grace, tremendous a feeling that it's so amazing to see this happen, to see it before your eyes. And I don't think any other, I've seen surfs, I've seen rescues before, I've never seen anything quite like this. It's been a great thing for your profession, and people are going to respect it even more, respect you even more. So I just thought it was really a very worthwhile event to have it at the Oval Office. So congratulations.
Mr. President, okay, so I actually have a
If you don't
question.
mind, can I have a question for the young gentleman?
Go
as
ahead,
well?
sure.
So first of all, a lot of people are very inspired by what you did. Can you tell us what was going through your mind at those dangerous moments, and what would you like to do in the future? How has this experience as a lifeguard shaped you?
In those dangerous moments that we have, we always try to fall back on our training. We are trained so well by many to handle that situation as best we can. So I really am just thinking about how to get the boy out of the water as fast as I can. And for shaping my future, I want to be a firefighter in the future. Hopefully go through paramedic school. And
He's off to a good start. We'll give him recommendations. We may have some good recommendations. Go ahead.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Can I, sir? First of all, thank you. You are an inspiration for all of us, I think, and especially you give us hope for your generation. And along those lines, do you have a message for your generation about service and what you're doing?
I hope that everybody can take away from this and try to help more people. Try to look out for everybody around you, and just try to help everybody out as much as you can.
What's the average age of a lifeguard in your area?
I'd say a lot of this last year, a lot of them were 16 to 17 years old.
And you have some that make it a profession, right?
Yes, sir.
A lot. So do you have 35, 40, 45-year-old? That's
sir.
great. And they lead a beautiful life on the surf, right?
Yes, sir.
And they would rather do nothing else, right? That's very good. I think it's great.
Mr. President, on another topic.
Well,
Yesterday,
let's finish on this topic. This is very exciting to me. Now, it's so exciting to see something like this happen. He's a real hero. When you see that, I don't know if I'd do it. I wouldn't probably. You're lucky I wasn't. You're lucky I wasn't on service that day. I don't know. But no, he's a real hero. It's an amazing thing. And he's a real lucky guy, too. God was watching you, right?
Yeah.
Great. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I do have a question about Iran, but I would like to ask you something about the rescue as well. Following this, there's been a push in Congress to officially affirm that open water lifeguards should be recognized as first responders. That would apparently really open up access to benefits, more federal programs. Would you support that?
Well, I think they have gone a long way to get that done. You know, it's something most people don't talk about. We have a lot of other things we talk about. And first time I've ever heard the question, but this is something that's been going on, I guess. Is that right? I'd like to put my weight behind it. So let's take a look at it. Very important.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like the idea. Why do you ask that question? I mean, is this something that's been discussed very
Members
much?
of Congress have been talking about it in the wake of this.
Well, I think in the wake of what happened here, there's a possibility something like that would happen.
And Mr. President, your memorandum of understanding with Iran expires today. Are you any closer to reaching a final deal on ending Iran's nuclear program today than you were 60 days ago?
Let's finish up with Ryder, and then when we're done, we'll answer a couple of those questions. Yeah?
Thank you, Mr. President, again. So for the young men and for those who trained them here, so as a parent, I'm very concerned when I see moments like those. What's your message to parents across the country who want to really improve their children's safety, especially when they're younger like this?
Well, I think you have to be going to the right beach, number one, and I think you have to have lifeguards around, right? Because you could go to that water. It looked so beautiful the day. It was such a beautiful day, everything nice. The water didn't look that bad, and then all of a sudden you see these violent waves come in. That's what amazed me so much. I studied it. I said, this is incredible. I've never seen that kind of roughness in water. I've seen tragic things happen, but I've never seen water that looks so calm, and then every 15 seconds, the violence comes back in. I think really you probably have areas, I'll bet you have areas that you think should have, as you call them, guards, that don't have. Can you imagine having more guards along the coast, parts of the coast, that aren't guarded where people die?
Yes, certainly. The National Water Safety Action Plan and the California State Action Plan both call for more supervision. And by supervision,
Do we lose a lot of people due to lack of, covering an area?
It can be challenging in some of those spots because of the economy to live there is
Right.
expensive. It's a coastal beach community, and there's $1 million homes on the beach, and our lifeguards are making a little more than minimum wage, but it can be challenging to live in those spaces, so it's hard to retain employees in those areas.
As the lifeguards grow older and they want to make that a profession, which is a noble profession, they make much higher salaries, right?
Yeah, yes. If they become
they make a good living.
if they become a full-time lifeguard, which in our department requires you to become a peace officer,
I see, okay. Well, that helps for that other question.
it does. That's a livable wage, and they can become members of the community and live where they're working and give back.
So will you be doing it? You help so much with Ryder. Will you be doing it as a profession, or will you be doing other things later?
So I'm actually a full-time firefighter paramedic with a fire department in California, and I've stayed on the books with state parks because I owe this program a lot, and it's done a lot for me.
Oh, that's
And
great.
I love being here helping train people like Ryder, so I plan on staying around for a long time.
That's great. Good job. That's fantastic. Yeah, please.
Are you
Policy
okay?
question, Mr. President?
Go ahead.
There's a lot of debate right now about these license plate scanners that are going up across the country. They're called flop cameras. People are worried that the police might misuse them. Have you heard of them?
Yep.
Or what's your stance?
Well, it's being studied right now. You have pros and cons, right? It's being studied right now. We'll have an answer sort of as to our views on it over the next couple of weeks.
Mr. President, yesterday John Ossoff said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your
Who said
response,
that?
John Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation, the Oval Office, and it was let go. The whole building, the White House, was let go. The exteriors were falling apart. The columns were falling apart. The whole place was a mess. In addition, they've been trying to get a ballroom for the last 150 years. And when I said I was going to build a ballroom, the military asked if they could see me. And they say, sir, we have an opportunity to go down deep into the ground and build a military facility to go to the White House and to go with all of Washington, D.C., which would be so valuable. And then they came up with the drone port on top, which would be a major drone port to protect the White House and all of D.C. And all of those things added up, and it became much more than just a ballroom. And I said to myself, wow, what an opportunity. I mean, if I was just going to build a ballroom, I could have had it built very quickly, because I build very well and very quickly. We went 5 stories down into the ground. We did a lot of tremendous things for the military, things that they could never get. They said, this is an opportunity that we have because you're building the ballroom, that if you would be willing to spend more time, we would love to be able, we've been trying to do this at the White House for many, many years, and they've been trying to have a ballroom at the White House for many, many years. Now, what happened is we used to use tents, and the tents are usually made of either a plastic material, or canvas. And they wouldn't stop a .22 caliber. They wouldn't stop anything in terms of safety. It'd be very dangerous. And they haven't used a tent for years. They haven't had any big, like we have President Xi coming on September 24th or so. I think it's September 24th. And we'd love to have 2,000 people coming to dinner and celebrating a nice evening, et cetera, but we only have a room that's going to hold 89 people, and 89 people is not appropriate. So maybe more importantly, it's totally secure with bulletproof windows, bulletproof sides. It's drone-proof, it's missile, every at the top of the line. And we need it, and especially with what's happened, unfortunately, to the world, you could say. Yeah.
So you mentioned Oman this morning. This morning you said you would bomb the S out of Oman if they got in the way of reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Would you say you're out of patience with Oman as strategic partners?
No, I don't think they behave very well, but we'd handle them very easily, just like we do other things.
Mr. President, I have actually 2 questions. There was a report by Center Square that nearly 24 Democratic attorney generals, months before your reelection, were basically planning already lawsuits against you, and wanted to see what your comment is on that. Second question.
Well, I heard about that. I'm not surprised, because they've weaponized this country like never before. The Democrats, or the Democrats as they call them, they've weaponized the country like nobody's ever seen anything like it. When you see the reports that are coming out now, that you would have never seen if I had not won the election in a landslide. But you would have never seen it if I didn't win the election. But the reports that you see coming out now, and the kind of illegal activity that they used on the 2020 election and beyond, is earth-shattering. These are very dishonest people, so I wouldn't be surprised to hear that.
Sorry, but this is on D.C. You have mentioned before, if the Democrats get in again, that they may eliminate the filibuster next time and make D.C. a state. A while back, Senator Mike Lee had floated an idea.
It wouldn't be a state. It wouldn't be. I mean, if we're talking about us, we have, as you know, a very radically left person elected mayor, who I haven't met. I'm sure she's very nice, but very, very, very radical left. And we would have to federalize D.C. You know, we've made D.C. great. When I got here, it was a very dangerous capital. I would have said to Ryder, don't come. It's too dangerous. Now I can say you can walk down the street, you can grab Nathaniel and all your friends, you can walk in, you're going to be very safe. But if you were here a year and a half ago, the numbers were horrible. The crime stats, the murders, the death, the drug dealing, everything was. We have one of the safest. We've taken it from one of the most unsafe cities in the country to as safe a city as there is. Amazing what's happened to Washington, and it's our capital. We have to have a safe capital. And we did it through a lot of different reasons, but we also put the National Guard here. But in addition to that, the cleanliness, the new grass, the graffiti's all gone. We fixed up 82 monuments, fountains, and other things. The places, and when you see it in 6 months from now, it's going to be even beyond that. We're proud of our capital. I think these things are important. Whether you build, whether you do something to fix the White House, where, you know, now they've never had a real estate developer, a good one, a real good one, here before. They might not ever have one again. But, you know, fixing up our great capital is a very important thing. I think it's very important psychologically. It's very important from the standpoint of people being able to come to the country and not get murdered in the capital. People would come here. We had one of the worst, one of the most unsafe cities in the country. Now we have one of the safest. Just to finish, we had a real problem with restaurants. Nobody wanted to have restaurants, entrepreneurs, restaurant entrepreneurs. Now you can't get space. Every restaurant is packed. The place is booming. People aren't going to get mugged and raped and beat to hell and shot and killed in Washington, D.C. One of the safest places. Crime is down 84%. And I did that in a short period of time. It's also down in Memphis, where we went specifically, and it's also down in New Orleans. I was asked by the governor, could I do something, because they were having Mardi Gras. It was very bad, and they had the best Mardi Gras they've ever had, the safest Mardi Gras that they've ever had. And we could do it in New York, we could do it in California, we could do it in Chicago if we were asked to do it. But the crime stats in the whole country, we have down 15, 16, 70%, a record.
Why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
Did you speak to
Where
him?
are you in conversation?
And very positive. Well, just so you understand with South Korea, look, South Korea has been protected by us for many, many years. And during my first term, they agreed to pay close to $3 billion a year for protection, because we don't, they essentially weren't paying. And I asked them to do that at my request. I said, not right. They weren't happy about it, but they agreed. I asked for $10 billion, and they were very unhappy.